Hi, and welcome to the DIY Photo Organising Podcast, focusing on topics to help you with your photo management. I'm Chantal from Photos in Order.
And I'm Fiona from Photo Helper. Hi Chantal, how are you?
Hi Fiona, I'm very good. How are you?
Good, good. Well, today we are thrilled to chat with our very special guest, Shelley Murray from Shelley Murray Photo Organising Services. Hi Shelley, and welcome to our podcast today.
Hi, thank you both for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh,
Such a
it's
pleasure.
wonderful. It's so great to have you on board with us today. So I'd just like to share a little with our listeners, a bit about Shelley first before we dive right in, and why we're excited to have her as our guest today. So Shelley Murray has been showing love through photos since she was a child. She loves photos and tells stories and reminds us to smile and count our blessings, which is gorgeous. Shelley joined the photo organising industry in 2013. Which is a long time ago now, as one of the first team members at a company called Forever. After 7 years as a corporate executive, Shelley left Forever and opened up her own small business, a photo organising services business. So she has such a passion for helping people preserve their photos and videos to tell their family stories. Shelley uses Forever as her platform and has a well laid out workflow to help her clients save, organise and share their family memories. Shelley educates, inspires and assists her clients in a variety of ways, from DIY training to client coaching and her own hands-on concierge services. Shelley also leads a team of Forever ambassadors, training them to run successful businesses that include things like media conversion, design and print, and permanent storage. Wow, that is awesome, Shelley.
That's a lot of stuff, isn't it?
It is a lot of stuff. It is a lot of
I
stuff.
do all of that.
Yeah, very impressive. You must be a very busy and tired lady at the end of the day.
Yes.
Look, it's just great to have you on board, and such a wealth of knowledge and experience. So jumping right in, I'm really interested to know, since you've been involved with photos and working with people for so long, and as I just said there in that bio, showing a love through photos since you were a child, could you start off by sharing with us your first memory of photos when you were a kid?
I would love to, because I think about it all the time and it is such a sweet memory. So my grandfather loved to take pictures and he had a camera and he took pictures all the time. And back then they were slides. And I remember two things. One is I remember sitting at his home and watching the slideshow of the photos that he had taken. And if anyone else remembers slides, the warm hum of the slide projector is something that I remember so clearly. And I also remember waiting so patiently, or at least trying to wait patiently, because it took forever to go from one photo to the next photo. And there was always something wrong with the slide projector, and they finally would fix it, and then the next photo would come up. And it was just such great anticipation, waiting for that next photo. And all the kids would be playing and wrestling each other, and older people would try to get everyone to be quiet, and then the next photo would come up. So it just was a great family time of fun memories. And I remember like how excited I would get when a photo would come up of me. And it just was such a feeling of love that they cared enough to have photos of me come up on the screen. It just meant so much to me. So I'm sitting here right now looking at my grandparents' 6 scrapbooks that they had put together from many of those photos. So I feel like I just come from a family of memory keepers, and it's always been a part of my life. And I just love the stories, and I feel so much love through sharing photos with people.
That's beautiful.
I love it. That's great. What a beautiful first memory.
Yes. You know what? It really is. I think about it often.
Yeah.
So we have mentioned Forever before, And
Mm-hmm.
you're now running your own business, but you were working for them for a long time, and you're now, of course, a forever ambassador and also have a team of ambassadors.
Right.
And
Yes.
so, can you tell us and our listeners a little bit more about Forever and what it is and what it
Sure.
does?
Okay. I'd love to. Absolutely. So, Glenn Meekum is the founder and CEO of Forever, and he recognized about 8 or 9 years ago that there was a problem. There wasn't a perfect location to keep his family memories online over time. And basically, he recognized if I put all of my family memories, all of those things that have been digitized that are important to me, the family stories, up online somewhere to be able to share with my family and to easily access, there's going to be a problem. Either I'm going to stop paying or pass away and my things will be taken down off the internet. Or I'm putting my stuff up to a free service, which owns all the digital rights to my content. And so there wasn't a good solution for a place to keep things there permanently online. And that's when he founded the company Forever. And it's the whole base of this company is the fact that it's permanent cloud storage. And the reason that it's permanent is when you purchase your storage, it's a one-time payment, and you own your storage for however much space that you purchased. But the majority of that money goes into a guarantee fund. So you're basically purchasing insurance for your photos. You're endowing your photos to be there permanently online. So Forever guarantees at least 100 years past your death, but it's certainly the idea of it is it's going to go much longer than that, just depending upon how many people join in, how long that this endowment is going to continue on. So it's really a wonderful solution to that problem of needing to find a place online for our things to live on past us to future generations. Also, everything that goes into your Forever storage account is completely private, so you keep the digital rights. And all of the content in there will be migrated to new file formats over time. So obviously looking at a JPEG photo now, 5 or 10 years from now, it's going to be a different format. So Forever migrates everything in the entire account to new file formats. So 50 years and 100 years from now, people will still be able to access the photos and videos and documents and audio files. So that's basically the what Forever is all about. But the company has grown into being an entire memory keeping platform. So it is a place that people can do it themselves. They can come in and save all of their important content. They can organize it within the Forever storage account, telling the stories behind the photos, adding dates, tags, names, and then they can share that. They can share it, digitally from their account, like via email or through friends and family that you can set up a family sharing structure in your account. Or you can share by printing. And Forever has a whole entire print shop as well, so that you're able to print photo books very quickly. They have some really great software and technology to print an auto book, which is what it's called, where you basically just arrange the photos in order and press the button, and there comes your book, and you just go in and tell stories.
Wow.
Type in. Yeah, it's really neat.
It's
It's a whole
amazing. They've
system.
really covered so many avenues of that. Can I ask, Shelley,
Absolutely.
when people, one of we go through 5 golden rules of storage, and one of the things that we look at and talk to our listeners about is having a hub, a photo hub.
Yes. Yes.
And usually that would involve having it either on a computer or an external drive, and backups would be in the
Yes.
cloud. So can you just talk to people that may be skeptical about having
Mm-hmm.
cloud storage, or as a
Mm-hmm.
hub, and just sort of the differences of that, or how, or speak to maybe some of that skepticism, as opposed to having that hub on a local drive, and how it works with
Sure.
Forever?
Yes, absolutely. So that's an interesting point. So with Forever, it's a cloud storage, which that really means that it's transmitted through the cloud, if you want to say. But basically, all of the contents are being stored at data centers. And there's several different data centers that host forever storage. So basically, it's redundantly backed up in strategic locations worldwide in these data centers. In case there is a war or a natural disaster, these centers will, remain. That's why it's redundantly backed up. So nothing will happen to the content if one of the data centers, something happens to it. So the items are stored and backed up in those centers and just transmitted to the computer or the mobile device or whatever you might be looking up your account on. But it is stored on hard services. Now, as far as storing it on an external hard drive, that's a great idea, but external hard drive is really a short-term storage. They can crash just like the computer can crash. They can be lost or subject to deterioration or floods and fires and different things like that. So it is a good backup strategy, but to also have a cloud storage or something else to just preserve things in case something does happen to that hard drive as well.
So do you only upload like sort of the best of to the Forever account, or and keep the hub somewhere else, or is Forever actually the hub for you?
Yeah. So the Forever is the hub for me.
Right.
I call it, it is my hub. It's where I keep everything. So I have my phone backed up there. I have all of my outdated media. So all those slides and reels and videotapes and printed photos have all been digitized. And I didn't mention, but Forever has an entire media conversion center as well, where Forever digitizes everything for clients and then puts it up in their storage account. So I have everything saved in this one permanent digital home, this one place. And then I can go there and grab different things. I can always download them whenever I need them in full resolution. I can share them. I can create print projects, but it is the hub where I keep everything.
So you don't use another software to curate the photos. It's really all happening in Forever.
That's right. Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I curate in there. So
yes.
when you're in Forever, you can add right into the metadata of the photo, and you can do that individually for each photo, or you can do it by bulk and grab a bunch of photos and add the name, date, tag, and description.
And if you download them from there, does the metadata, so all these keywords and all that, does that stick to the file? Does that come down with it? Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
You have the option. If you want it to come down, it will. And if you don't want it to, it won't. It takes longer to write the metadata, into it to download. So you get to make the decision, whichever you like.
Right. And you mentioned also your phone. So there is an option like you can use with Dropbox or similar to that with an automatic camera upload where it sends you a photo directly from the phone to Forever. That's
right. So you can you have the option to back up your phone. So that's everything from here going backwards to upload into your storage. And a lot of people do that. And then they go into their storage and just quickly delete the things that they don't want. It's very easily to delete out of your storage. And then you can hit auto sync, which means everything from today going forward, as you take it, it will upload into your storage.
Oh, right. Okay.
And or you can just do it manually.
What did I want to ask? So a lot of people use optimized storage these days on the iPhone, that is, because they can't keep 50,000 photos on their phone, obviously. So is Forever, when it uploads the phone photo, is it uploading the full size or yes. Wow.
It's it's uploading the full size, not the optimized size.
Even if optimized is turned on, say if they're an iPhone user.
That's right. Yes. The best way to get your photos from iCloud or from your phone is to back up in the Forever app. The reason is the metadata will come along with it. But oftentimes, if you are exporting or dragging out of iCloud and then uploading it into Forever, it will stay in iCloud. It won't come out of the iCloud. Right. Okay. So the very best way is to use the phone app and back up your phone from there.
That's good to know.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
So can you tell us some maybe just a few examples? This sounds like there's a lot of different combinations that people can sort of use in that setup.
Yes.
So you're mentioning about the phone, say through an iCloud, say if they've got an iPhone. What about an
hmm
Android phone?
Same thing applies. Forever has an app for both Android and for the iPhone. So it's the same backup principles and auto sync principles. It's a little bit easier just to back up the Android phone. It doesn't require the iCloud. So the iCloud gets a little bit tricky. I have to say I love Apple. I love all the Apple products. I love the iCloud. I use it as a backup, but it is just like a storage center. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
backup space. There's no organizational structure there. So the idea of getting your photos from there is not an easy thing, but it is so important to get photos out of iCloud
Mm-hmm.
and to get them over into Forever so that you can organize them and find them and tell the stories behind them. And that's one thing people don't recognize is with the iCloud, it doesn't outlive you. Like as soon as
Mm-hmm.
something happens to you, your account is shut down. So most people don't realize that. So that is another reason why it's so important to do the work now, to get those photos out of there so they will, live on and be handed down to your family.
Touching on
Yeah.
that subject, I'm interested to, because I have a Forever account, but I haven't
Mm-hmm.
used it to the max yet. My
Okay.
intention is to use it as that's where I want to keep my legacy collection, so to speak,
Okay.
like the best of the photos that I want whoever comes
Mm-hmm.
after me to have
Yes.
and to keep. So
Right.
intend to use it a bit differently from what you just described, but that
Mm-hmm.
brings up the topic I know, and I haven't, I have to be honest, I haven't looked into it yet, how to set it up, because you
Yeah.
can have account managers so that they basically inherit your account when you pass away. Is that correct?
Sure. So, kind of. So, basically, in your storage account, you get to set up account managers. You can have as many account managers as you want. Now, in doing so, I'll kind of explain this part as well. There's also a friends and family sharing plan within your storage account. So you can determine who you want to share with friends and family wise. So if you friend people in your storage account, they can come in and see the albums that you've created in your account that are marked either public or marked friends and family.
Mm.
And they can see them, they can look at the stories that you've written about them, they could download them or copy them to their library. It's a great sharing system.
Mm-hmm.
And of those friends and family, and my account is really just my family, um, you can also mark them to be an account manager. And an account manager can actually come in and manage your account. They can add stories to the photos, they can add tags, descriptions, whatever they'd like to do. They can create a photo book in there or a photo print
Mm.
project. But there's two things they cannot do. They cannot delete anything and they cannot make a purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have an account manager helping you with your account right now. I am an account manager for many of my clients. I'm an account manager for my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and some of my other family members. All my kids have accounts, and I'm their account manager. And I just go into my account, and I can pop over to all their accounts and do work in all their accounts right from my account.
Oh,
Now,
okay. And that doesn't
mhm,
eat up space on your account.
no, it does
Yes.
not.
Right. Okay.
And then
Mm.
the next step of this is your preservation settings. And that is how you determine what happens to your things upon your passing. You
Right.
can determine if you want to remove your account manager. Maybe you just want your account set and locked, and remove your account manager, and all the family can still come in and see things, and you can have things set as public albums, so you know that you can share some of your stories publicly. So
Mm-hmm.
you can think of on down the line like how Ancestry works, where you can kind of look up stuff about people, but there's really not a robust story about people. It's just like some information. But Forever is going to offer robust stories and photos and even videos, to tell our stories to future generations.
Mm-hmm.
So in a preservation settings, you determine, hey, I want to mark all my friends and family albums to be public 25 years after my passing or 10 years after my passing. I want to mark my
Mm.
private albums to be friends and family 25 years after passing or something like that. So that maybe you've
Mm.
got private journals or something that you would like to share with the
Mm-hmm.
public in the future. I have a beautiful example. And I like to share this story. He was a client of mine. His name is Jack Snyder. If you just went to forever.com and clicked the magnifying glass in the top right-hand corner and put in Jack Snyder, you'd search for him. And he was a war hero, and he had to tell, and he wanted his story to be publicly available so he could share the story of what happened to him and the man who saved his life in the battle. And so there's a video of him telling the story there that's publicly available when you search for Jack. There's photos of him growing up and the stories that he wanted to tell beside each photo. There's letters he wrote home to his mom from war. I mean, it is a beautiful life story right there available in Forever.
So somebody who doesn't have an account can still see a search for that and see it, right?
Yes. It'll be publicly searchable in Google.
Yeah.
Like his own, almost like his own little YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yes, right. And he was able to curate it how he wanted to be remembered.
Wonderful. Wow.
It's really neat.
You just mentioned journals before. Does that mean does Forever accept PDF files or Word documents?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can do photos, videos, audio files, and documents.
Wow.
And I have to say, I use my storage account. I know you said you use it for like your legacy things that you want to hand down to future generations. And I use it as my hub for everything. But I also use it for things that you might not think of, like my tax returns and my important information that, that are important PDF files on my computer. I just keep it in my Forever account. When I'm running meetings, I will record it and I'll put the recording in the Forever account so I can share with a link so other people can watch the recording. I'm videotaping my daughter's dance class and I have this dance video, but it's too big to send on text or email. So I upload it to my Forever account right from my phone app, and then I share the link, and now it's sent to someone else. I sent to the whole class, and they can all watch it in my Forever account.
And they don't need accounts when you share things from your Forever account? So if I want to share stuff with my mom, she doesn't need an account?
Correct.
Right, okay.
So can they have then an app on their phone if I was to share say an album that I'd made with my family, would they do that? Like, what's the visual of that as far as an album, or do they download the Forever app themselves as a guest, or?
So those are some great questions. So I'll just explain. So first of all, everyone can have a free 2 gigabyte Forever account. And that's usually how people connect with me. And I think we can share a link to get a free account at the end of the broadcast. And then they get this free account and then they can use it and check it out and try it out. They can put the phone app on their phone and they can do whatever, they want with it. But if you are sharing a photo with someone, they don't necessarily have to have that account, but they can have the 2 gig account for free. No one knows if it's a paid account that has permanent storage or if it's just a free account. They look the same. So I'm able to share with you several things. I can share a photo or a video or a document or an audio file. I can share a group of photos or all those things. I can share a tag with you. So I could share a tag of my grandfather's name and that would share all the photos that he's been tagged in with you. So you'd flip through all those photos.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's what I want to do with mine. Yeah. That's good to know.
Well, you've sold me, Shelley. Oh my goodness. I know that's not what we're doing here, but I'm like, wow, it's really
I know we have to get together again.
I know.
Sorry, I interrupted you, but you were at the tags. You can share tags, and then
you can share an album. So the albums are the ways you tell stories. So you group your photos together in an album. You decide how you want to organize your own account. I have albums of events like vacations or Christmas, and I have albums of my kids or of the whole year. I can just create albums however I want to, and I can create them and delete them too. So I just recently created an album because my daughter is graduated this year, and so I just went in through her account and grabbed photos, put them in an album, created a print project that had a big wall panel, a metal wall panel that says 2020 on it, and grabbed all the photos. I had it done about less than 2 hours, I guess. And I created an album of all the photos I wanted to use. And then as soon as the project was done, I just deleted that album.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I ordered the print project. It'll be delivered next week.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
yeah, so that's kind of how the workflow works, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can
Now,
share a project too with you. So
yeah.
those are the all things that I could share the project if you wanted to see
I
that too.
know Forever offers some really beautiful projects you can do. It's always a shame because we're in Australia, so I
I
haven't ordered
know.
anything yet. They do ship, but I haven't actually
Yes.
looked at the pricing and all that. But I'd
They
like to
do
try.
Shopmate.
Yeah,
I think they do it by Shopmate, so it's like a
yeah,
bulk ship.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, can I
So, oh,
sorry.
you go. No, you go, you go.
And I know that sort of brings us back to the phone. I was just one question that bugs me with the upload from phones. It's not synchronizing. So once it's up in Forever, it doesn't, and then you change things in Forever or you add metadata or you delete it. It doesn't delete it off the camera roll. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes,
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 it goes
okay.
into Forever,
Yes,
and you're able to easily access it from any web
yes.
browser, and it's live.
Mm-hmm,
It's real time.
mm-hmm,
So whether you do it in your app, and then it's in your account,
mm-hmm.
and it doesn't do anything to your camera roll.
Right.
That's correct.
So once you have uploaded them, you could delete them off the phone.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
if you want to.
Awesome.
And so it's live. So you just mentioned, Shelley, then that it was live real time. So if I did delete something and then next week I think, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Is there a backup of a date going back to that I can recoup those
Yes.
photos?
Yes, it's called the delete bin, and if you delete out of your Forever account, it goes into the delete bin for 60 days.
Okay.
So you just go get it back out.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Fantastic. So
Yes.
I'm interested. So we have, listeners that'll be coming in, listening for a whole range of different reasons. A lot of people are doing things themselves. So
Yes.
they're looking at DIYing their own photos, and they've just sort of stumbled on the podcast and on a bit of a researching mission of how to do this the best for themselves. What do you do? Because I know that as a photo organizer with different services yourself, this is part of a solution that you help people with. What would you say if people are listening, trying to do organizing their photos for themselves? What are some of your top tips on where to start and maybe how they incorporate, say, Forever into a mix of different things? Or is this part of a workflow that you help other clients with, or do you just use Forever?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I do help my clients do it themselves with Forever. So that is the platform that I use for all of my clients. And it's a way that I can train them to be able to do this themselves. And I offer free training on my website. And I also have a do-it-yourself 10-step guide of organizing all of your photos. And we talk about the outdated media ones and also the digital ones, because they're two different issues here. And then I give them tips and tricks on how to do it. But basically, it's save, it's bring them all in together into one place. So go and I help them think about where they're located, go and gather them, bring them together, just start uploading them into the Forever storage account. I mean, scatter it across the desk, all the flash drives, the camera cards, the hard drives, whatever you have, and just start uploading. And then if it's outdated media, then it's order a Forever media conversion box and load your things in the box, and then Forever gives you a shipping label, make it very easy to ship through FedEx. It's a very safe and very easy process. Forever will digitize that and then put it in your storage account. So the nice thing is that you don't ever have to digitize it again, because the data migration, Forever is going to keep migrating it to new file format. So it's one and done. It's in your permanent account. And then that's step one. That's my save phase. The next phase is my organize phase. And that's where I help people tell the stories behind their photos and go ahead and add those tags and the dates and the descriptions and work in the account. And I do free live webinars each week. And I've got that on my website as well, where I'm giving them a tour of Forever, giving them some tips and tricks and workflows, showing them how easily it is for them to do this themselves. And then the last is share. So save, organize, share. and share is so fun. I love the share part because it's showing love, right?
Yeah.
People feel so much love when you give them photos, even if you just share a link to a photo. I can't tell you how much love it brings.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you this quick story because this just will define the workflow here of Forever and how it works. Do it yourself. So we talked about slides in the beginning of this broadcast, and
Yeah.
we've digitized all our family slides. They're in my Forever storage account, as well as many other things. But we've got Father's Day coming up, and I'm going to be on vacation with my father for Father's Day. So what I did was I went in my storage account and I went back through all the slides and I just grabbed all the ones that he and I are in there together and all the way through up till now. Okay. So it doesn't take that long because I have it all organized and I just go by year. I knew when we were on vacations together and doing things together. And I've got pictures of just him and I. It wasn't like a group. It was just me and my dad. And I probably came up with like 55 photos. And I just put them in order. I just clicked on by date order, the oldest first. So now I've got this album in order. And then I clicked auto book and it made a book for me. And then I went back and it just moved some of the pictures around and then put a sentence on each page. And it was beautiful because it said, there he is holding me in the hospital when I'm born. And so I was able to say something on there about, it all started one day in Florida. And then you see as I grow up and, we love to do outdoor things together. So I said, here you were showing me the outdoors and how to swim in the water and how to go on hikes in the woods. And then I found a picture of me holding up a little mug, like drinking. And I said, you even taught me how to drink coffee because we love to drink coffee together. That's another way I feel love is drinking coffee. So I did this book. So because it was so easy to organize, the book was done. I ordered it and it should be here next week. And I'll be giving that to him as a gift. So it just, it's a great workflow story.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 It
So.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives hope to people, which is what they need. It's like, because, if they're listening, they're like, I am nowhere near that yet.
Right.
But that's the goal.
It's doable. Yes.
Yes.
And you don't have to get everything done to make a photo book. You just have to go do something fun and then come back and make a project.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go make some memories and then you can.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So Shelley, look, there's so much great information. I think, I really hope that this has given people, an insight to say, I wanted to find out more, especially about you and what you do, and also about company and the company Forever, and maybe being an ambassador or finding out about what that is and things like that.
Yes.
How can people, what do you offer, or how can people find you, and can you just, for people to connect in with you, or I think you've got a freebie, you mentioned that, but
I do.
can you sort of lead people to find you?
Oh, thank you. I would love to. That's great. Okay, so I will just say you can go to my website, which is shelleymurray.com, and it's Shelley with an EY, Murray with an AY, and I'm sure they'll put that in the notes as well. But you can connect with me there. And then you also can take a look at my 10-step guide, which will guide you to digital photo organizing. And then look on my website to connect with me for a live webinar, or just reach out to me for a phone conversation or Zoom conversation. Like I said, you can get a free 2 gigabyte Forever storage account, which I would love for you to get because then you'll be connected to me as an ambassador. You'll hear from me. I'll reach out to you and help you get started. I'll help offer you training, and we'll be in connection, and I'll help you with this process. And then the other thing you mentioned, an ambassador. So when I was with Forever, we started an ambassador program. We recognized that people really need a person to come alongside of them and to put their arm around them and to really encourage them in this memory keeping journey and this process. And that's why Forever started this ambassador program. And it's so wonderful because our ambassadors are people who do just what I'm doing. They show you how to use Forever to its finest and its fullest. And they're there as a resource and to answer questions and to inspire you and help you. So now that I'm no longer with Corporate Forever, I am an ambassador and I lead a team of ambassadors. So I also invite people to come and learn how to share forever as a business and to help people learn how to save, organize, and share their photos and how to make photo books and how to get their media converted or do their storage. So I have a nice, wonderful team of other Forever ambassadors. Some are professional photo organizers, some are not. And I train them and I teach them how to do this and how to share it with others. Some have big businesses, some just share with friends and family, but it is a beautiful way to earn some additional income. It could be a side hustle for a person, it could be a full-time business like it is for me, for another person. But I just enjoy coaching and helping and training the ambassadors on my team. It's a good group of
Love it.
people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, because, people that have found our podcast love photos. So you never know. They may
Right.
be on a journey and got the photo bug like the three of us have.
Yes.
And they can take
That's
their
right.
journey wherever it should go.
Yes.
So, yeah, Shelley, so you've shared so much with us today. Thanks so much for being our guest. It was such a pleasure to have you. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sure our listeners have learned lots and lots too, as we have. And we mentioned before that we'll put all the links that you mentioned in the show notes, as always. And I hope people get in touch with you. And to our dear listeners, please, as always, don't forget to leave a review, and we always welcome feedback and your questions. You can either email us directly or contact us through the social media channels. And that was it for this time. I'm Chantal from Photos in Order.
And I'm Fiona from Photo Helper. And Shelley, thank you again so much for joining us.
Oh, I had such a great time being with you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So thanks again for being here. Thanks for listening in. And as always, happy photo organizing. Bye for now.